What is going on, our inner circle friends? Welcome to our bonus pod episode brought to you by Frick and Frack, as we call it. Well, we've called each other that, but we're calling each other that more today than ever. From being a summer house gal, from being a real housewives of New York gal, getting her Hamptons on. Welcome back. How were you? How was the trip? How's Ramona Singer?
I didn't see. No, the Hamptons was it was fun. I mean, I was there for business, so it wasn't like all work. I was all work and pretty much little play, basically. But the Hamptons and Montauk are beautiful. It's not season yet. The season starts and picks up during Memorial Day weekend. But I had to go in for work and go see accounts, and a lot of people are starting to open and gearing up for the season. But it was great. It was nice. But as soon as I got home, I just literally wanted to like decompose, decompress, disengage, the three
All the
Ds,
D's.
all the
Yup.
Ds. But
uh,
and no, it was good. It was good. I was in a car for so long. It's cool. Like you could take the Long Island Railroad for like 2 hours if you want, or you can like. I didn't do that. I went halfway. But anyway, yeah, I would love to go back this summer.
um, what was I gonna say? Again, you were in the Hamptons living your Bravo fantasy. And not only that, but you also got to chop it up with Andy on radio Sirius. I think Andy
Radio Andy,
Sirius
yeah.
XM. Yeah, Radio Andy Sirius XM. How was that?
Yeah, it was cool
Because you,
because
you went to the
I'm
kitty cat bar.
no.
Uh,
So listen, I
well, you
went
tied it in. You tied it in. Explain it. Yeah.
okay, I went to the opening night of Cabaret at the Kit Kat Club.
Yes.
That's a musical that has been out for years, for decades. And they did a revival. The last revival was in London. And then this last weekend was the opening night for the Cabaret musical. It was great, star studded. Candy Burris was there with Todd.
Mm.
Um, the musical itself was great. I had a good time. We went because I went with one of our German marketing people because the company I work for has headquarters in Germany. That's where we make our glass. And so we sponsored the event because they needed glasses. And I think when you walk in, I remember they give you a shot glass, and all the drinks at the bar and stuff were from our company. And it was a great opportunity. It was fun. And I remember I was talking to my mom while I was getting ready, and she told me that she saw it when it became a film in 1972, I think it was, with Liza Minnelli. She was
Mm.
like the opening, she was like the head person, I think, Sally Bowen. And um, there was like in the 90s when it was in Broadway, Natasha Richardson. You remember the
Yes.
actress from
The
Family
Parent
Trap?
Trap. Yep.
The Parent Trap. She was best friends with Andy Cohen.
Yeah.
And I called Andy because he had just gone to the opening of The Wiz. So I called him to tell him that I went to go see the Cabaret. And I wanted to pick his brain and see how him and Alan Cumming met, because Natasha Richardson and Alan Cumming were both on the show together in 97. So he basically elaborated, and it was cool. I had a great time. I do want to see The Wiz. I think me and you spoke
Yes, we
about it.
spoke about it. Yeah,
I need
I'm
to see the
intrigued. I want
movie
to see it.
first, though.
I listen. The movie's one of those movies that ever since as a child you see it pop up playing.
Mm,
Even in Puerto Rico when I lived in Puerto Rico, like it would be
I
one of those
never
movies
saw it,
that
but
they
I've heard
played.
about it.
But I've never seen it to completion. Like I know it was like the urban version of Wizard of Oz, but I've never seen it to completion. Like I've never checked it out. So in a way, like you said, in a sense, I want to watch it now because I
Yeah,
am intrigued. Ever since I heard that she was gonna open do this show, The Wiz, on Broadway, I'm intrigued. I love the regular Wizard of Oz, one of my favorites. I love Wicked, which is
I've
a
never
prequel.
seen.
Oh, I love Wicked. I
I've never
see
seen The
Wicked.
Wicked. I've never seen Wizard of Oz. I know what happens in the movies, but where can I see it? Is it on Disney Plus?
Wicked. Oh well, Wizard of Oz, the regular old movie, yes, is on HBO Max.
Is
If
it?
not on Disney Plus, yes, definitely HBO Max. If not, unless they pulled it, you know how
Where can I
things
see
get
The
pulled.
Wiz?
Now the Wiz, I'm not sure because I haven't looked for the Wiz,
I'll look it up.
but I'm sure with one of the many apps we have, we will find it. Um, but yeah, and then Wicked, which actually, as you know, the movie adaptation is finally coming out this year with Ariana Grande playing Glenda. Uh,
Mm,
that's where she met her current beau, who she allegedly took from
Evan.
married.
Evan SpongeBob SquarePants.
Yeah, but yeah, so no, that's cool. Yeah, we definitely want to go see Wicked, and hopefully it doesn't get yanked or goes off Broadway as quick as Once Upon a One More Time did.
No, I doubt it. I doubt it.
Only the summer, basically, that Broadway show.
Yeah, I'm excited. I actually just signed up for this Manhattan Theater Club. They have a program called 30 under 35. Sorry, you've missed the cut. But basically, you get tickets, a pair of tickets for $30 if you're 35 years old or younger. And they have like a bunch of Broadway shows
That's
that
a
you
little
can go see.
ageist, though.
Whatever. You know, I think that the arts, and that's something that I noticed while I was at the theater, there aren't enough young people going to the shows. I think most of the people that do go, that are thespians and stuff, and that are younger, are either people that are traveling from different schools. And it's not like, I think that what they want to do is take people out of clubs and lounges and put them like in Broadway shows to watch. Because
Hmm.
baby, when I went, it was the crowd, the demographic was older society, New York
Aristocats.
aristocrats, bourgeoisie.
Hmm.
So
I
I
give that,
think that's cool. But
that's a
I
good
signed up.
incentive.
I only have a year, honey, because next year I'm not gonna be
The
qualified.
cut.
So that's why we're gonna take advantage. And if I get two tickets, hello, you will be my plus one.
Let's go. We are out. You know what's so hard to find, and I don't know about you. Um, right now, I don't know if it's everywhere. There's a shortage of it, what, but especially in New York City,
What?
Nike slides.
Oh,
I've been like been around the boroughs.
I'm
Yeah,
gonna
yeah,
put you
yeah.
on. Listen, I wear like these cloud like foam like Birkenstocks. I stopped wearing my slides a long time ago. I don't wear the Nike slides no
What?
more. They're not even that good for your feet. Like they're so flat and tight and like no, they're not great.
I don't
They
think
the reaction to your heel is not good. That's why you'll get plantar fasciitis by having those.
with these. Wait, hold on, because these are
Yeah,
not that
I'll show
bad.
you
I kind
mine.
of find them.
Yeah, I used to rock those. Those are not the best. These are the best.
But
They look ugly, but trust me, they're comfy. When you come over, I'm gonna have you try them on so you could see and feel. It feels like literal walking on clouds.
sheesh. But so besides going to Broadway shows and stuff, we know that you love to watch a good TV show, and you talk about the TV shows that you've been watching. Now it's funny because one
Yeah.
of the new TV shows that you've been binging and you watch,
Mhm.
ironically, last night, me and Honey got into it, and yeah, so talk about it so then I could jump into it because it was a coincidence that sometimes we watch the same things.
So everybody knows that I'm not really. I like to delay watching things or seeing things or hearing things when it first comes out because I
Yeah.
don't like to like join the hype. I got into Baby Reindeer. I just had to. I got sick and tired of seeing all the like the memes, or I got tired of seeing all the TikToks. So I decided to watch it, and I binged it yesterday. Um, it's a very uh I don't even know how to like describe it. It's a very like sad but then kind of like hopeful story. I feel bad for the guy,
with
but
some what's the word? As you're thinking about your words,
I
with
don't
like
know. I don't know how to explain like the I could go into like explaining what's it about, the synopsis, but I just feel like it's so hard. I mean, it's not even what's the point? Everyone knows what it's about right now.
he's like what is it? Those what's the word? Reciprocate, not reciprocator. People,
Masochistic,
not masochists. Those people that kind of joke at their own expense.
self-deprecating.
He's very yeah. It was like a very a comedic, self-deprecating show because he narrates the show. The guy that it's about,
It's
he
based on
basically
him.
kind of he narrates the show. Yeah, based on him, he narrates the show, and he in the what you trying to say? What I found of it was comedic, very self-deprecating,
So,
in a sense.
so the series it follows Donnie. It's based in the UK. It follows Donnie, a struggling comedian whose life is thrown into disarray when a woman named Martha enters his life and starts sending him hundreds of emails a day. My first impression when she started emailing him and stuff, one, a couple things. One, Big Brother is always watching. It is so easy to get people's information. It's fucking crazy. That's
Mm.
one. Two, she was able to connect with him and meet him or like talk to him and get close to him without even having his phone number, which is
Mm.
crazy. But two, I think it's really sad how the system is like ran where he tried to report it. It took him so long to report it. And when he finally did and was at his like breaking point, the cops didn't like help him. They basically told him like, well, she's not doing anything threatening, so it's okay. So stalking someone lightheartedly and like being nice to them is okay. That's not
Meanwhile,
harassment.
she's had previous this Martha, the character, has
Yeah,
had previous
arrests
fucking arrests
and
and
jail
things.
time.
Hmm.
So I don't know. I just felt like ultimately I we watched it to the full entirety, you and I, right?
It's 7 episodes. Yeah, it's 7 episodes. They average about 30 to 35 minutes the
Yeah.
most.
So
Um,
I'm gonna do. I mean, a spoiler alert for whoever hasn't watched it. Pause this or fast forward it because at the end of I think the ending of the last episode is very interesting, and also it like gives you. They leave it to interpretation. The ending they leave it to interpretation
mhm.
to like for you to think, the viewers to think and like make up what happens after.
Yeah.
I felt like his expression of him crying and getting so upset, and then when he asked the bartender for a drink and then he didn't have money and the bartender kind of pitied him the same way he pitied Martha and was
Hmm.
like, don't worry, this one's on the house. So Donnie's expression is a realization of his own, where the barman feels sorry for him as he felt sorry for Martha at the beginning. I think the significance is he didn't know he needed someone to feel bad for him. Obviously, he didn't want someone to pursue him like she did, but Martha did provide to him more than what he expected. It was like he had a clear vision of himself that Martha was on par with him. He saw how easy it was to be drawn to someone by a simple act of kindness towards you when you're on your lowest point. So, I mean, it it's crazy when I first saw it and I saw that he made her a cup of tea and stuff because she was crying. I was like, damn, this all stems from one cup of tea, like her going crazy and going ape shit and like being so obsessed with him. Sometimes I think that it's best to be a bitch and not to be social at all.
Listen,
But then when you're in a job, in a situation where you have to provide customer service, those people are like, I mean,
yeah.
what can you do?
It's crazy because watching this show, like I said, I just my boy heard about it himself. He's like, "Oh, I keep hearing about this." And funny enough, another person I know mentioned it to me during the week. So I'm like, okay, whatever. Saturday night, watched it, put it on, binging it, and then you told me this morning you was watching it. But no lie, just from watching it yesterday, that's my crazy mind already. Um, I bumped into someone who I haven't seen in a while, actually. Someone, a little fleeting thing. I bumped into them while I was coming from running errands. So then this person's walking. This is today. Um, this person's walking with me as I'm
Oh,
like with things and kind of trying to make conversation, and I'm like, I'm trying to cut it like, all right, have a good one. I'm busy. I have to do this or whatever. Trying to cut it off so this person just goes the other way. Fine, I continue, go with my day, whatever, go home, do my thing and stuff. Now I'm doing laundry.
mhm.
Now I'm at the laundromat. Tell me why the same person, individual, walks through the laundry. This is today. This is today.
To do
On my mom's
laundry,
grave.
or to
No,
like
walk
talk
through
to you.
today because then no, walk through today gave me a nod. Was in different clothes now.
Oh, ja, okay.
Was now in different clothes, but wasn't doing laundry. So he must have came, seen me, seen I was doing laundry, came in, tried to like holler again, and left. Because I was like, for a while, I was looking throughout the laundry, like, is he really here doing? What is the irony? But that's my little baby reindeer. I'm like, oh hell no! Like, not the movie I watched, kind of manifesting itself in a weird way right now. And mind you, I haven't seen this person in a minute. In a minute, so that was weird. But yeah, Baby Reindeer on Netflix. Very interesting. It's
Mhm.
I guess
Very
it's for
graphic.
and it's for a certain. I say it's for a certain taste of palate. I don't think a lot of people will get into it. Maybe like
Yeah, my brother was. We talked about it this morning. He saw it too, and he said that he didn't understand why he would go back to his abuser, and he was like, why is he like almost masochistic in the sense of going back to the same place and same person who made him feel the lowest of low, which
and
I
he kind of
agree.
explained it though. He kind of explained it in his monologue when he was speaking.
Yeah,
Donald or Don. Yeah.
yeah. I don't know. I just ultimately I thought I saw a post on TikTok that Cardi B was talking about it, and she said she's on episode 2 or 3, and how it made her like it gave her PTSD because she was a victim of sexual abuse, I believe.
Yes.
So she said, like, if you're gonna watch a fair warning, like there is sexual abuse in this.
And
But
he explained it, and that hit home too, and what he said, and like the going back.
yeah,
I could get into this some other time deeper, but what he said is kind of I could see why.
I think the only part that made me emotional was his like um conversation, like coming out and like
Mm-hmm.
explaining all the shit he went through to his
To his
parents,
parents,
and
yeah,
then his dad being like, I understand where you're coming from.
yeah.
Waterworks, bitch.
Yeah,
Waterworks.
that at first seeing his dad's character in the recent, like in the episodes
Yeah,
before, to
like
then
angry.
seeing him, yeah, to then him being understanding stuff, it was like a total not what I expected. So, but it
Mhm.
was a good turn of events of what I
Right.
thought I was
Well,
gonna
for sure,
expect.
you never know what people are going through and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a good watch. I love like British. You know me, I'm obsessed with all things British. And
Hmm.
like I even have an app that's for like British TV shows. So when I saw that it was from based in London, I was like, oh, I need to watch this. But
Yeah, I
yeah, it was good.
enjoyed. Yeah, recent, obviously going to London this past year, like I was like, ooh,
Yeah.
like I enjoyed it a little more.
Another show that I'm watching really quick that I think I'm on like the third episode, and it hasn't finished yet because it's on is it on on Max? Yeah, it's on Max. It's called Under the Bridge,
Mm.
and it's based on a true story based on this 14-year-old girl from Canada. I think she was Indian Canadian. Her name was Rima Verk, and like a group of girls who were supposed to be her friend basically beat the crap out of her and drowned her and killed her.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, and it happened back in the 90s. I want to say in 97 or 98. But the two people that got convicted, I think one of them is now in probation and the other one got exonerated. But it's a good show, and so far I'm enjoying it, even though it's kind of sad.
Wow, and it was a group of girls though, because you said only two got.
It was a group of girls that were basically invited her to a party that was like outside under a bridge where there was a lake or something, and a guy, I know what happens in the end because this was an actual like a international
Oh,
crime.
so
But
there's more that's unfolding then.
yeah, more that's unfolding.
Oh.
But basically, a girl got arrested and like sentenced, and a guy as well. And the guy, which is crazy because he supposedly didn't even know the girl Rima, the one that died.
Mhm.
He just decided to partake and like hit her. So anyway, so far it's a good show, and Lisa Marie Presley's daughter Riley Keough is in the
Mhm.
show, and so is, oh my God, what is her name? She was in that Leonardo DiCaprio movie, Flowers of the Moon.
No idea. I
Something like that.
don't watch
Lily
Leo movies.
Gladstone. She's like the Native
Oh.
American girl that won. She won like an award. I think it an Oscar or an Emmy. I don't know. She won a award. She was the first Native American to win.
Oh.
So
Well, that's Under the Bridge on HBO Max. Well, maybe I'll have to check it out.
yeah,
But you know what show that we both watched and that we both recently seen, and the season finale was 2 Fridays ago, and it marked the highest rated episode for a RuPaul's Drag Race since I believe 2000 and we posted it on our circle page on Instagram, but it's been a few years. I believe it was since 2000, since season single digits
single digits,
seasons.
nine.
So it was the highest rated episode, a finale episode. But the finale, it was down to Saphira, Nymphia, and Plain Jane. We are obviously it's 2 weeks later, so if you're watching this, I'm sorry, but I'm sure it's been spoiled for you of who won. But
Right.
congratulations to Nymphia win. Win. Now I know you. What are your thoughts?
I think, Nymphia was great. I think that she turned out looks. I think she's a look queen. I know she's never like been on the.
She never
She
had to lip
wasn't.
sync.
She was in the bottom. I think wasn't she in the bottom a few times?
She
But
wasn't in the bottom. She
she
never had to
didn't
lip
lip
sync.
sync.
Yeah, she never had to lip sync. And there was one time, although I don't know why, because it necessarily didn't mean she was gonna be in the bottom, but Plain Jane saved her with the immunity potions.
Yeah, I
But it
think
didn't. It wasn't
everyone else
indicative
got
that she was gonna be in the bottom though.
right. I think for me, I don't like, and I've said this many times, the art of drag has been a little tainted now, where people just paint themselves and want to look fishy and want to pull stunts and want to look the part, but they like the campness, so to speak, and like the comedian portion and like the talent is not really there. Nymphia is great. Like she can be her face. She fashion wise, she's great, but like I don't know when it came down to like the challenges and stuff, she did mediocre to me, and like she relied too much on her like Asian ethnicity by like always pretending like forcing her accent.
During
She's
the
from, she's from Taiwan. Why are you forcing and appropriating like a Mandarin accent to like make it funny? I don't know. I don't think that was cute. I don't like that. I personally really like Safiri. What was her name?
Sophia Crystal.
Safira. Safira Cristal, I felt like was very elegant, sophisticated. Mind you, she's like my age, and she was very like she gave like old
40
soul,
something. Yeah.
very
She
old
definitely
soul,
did.
very mature. She came off
Hmm.
like a mom, but also like knew how to dress. Always was very thoughtful in her designs and her looks.
Hmm.
She was very funny and everything that she did. Even like my favorite challenge was when she was walking down the runway and she had that annoyed look and she was just giving that look
Hmm.
to the judges and everyone was like dying laughing. It's things like that that are effortless, I feel, and like Nympia didn't give me that.
This is Safira from. It was very for me. There was a few this season again. Claps to Drag Race because it's been a few seasons. Like shout out to Sasha Kobe because we love her. I love her from last season and thank God she won. But even before that, like the last few seasons to me have been okay. The last few
Which one
seasons, a lot
though?
of the queens just reminded me of older queens. This season was a little fresh. I do have to say, as a person speaking, I felt a little fresh. I felt a little like back to old forms. Even though Plain Jane, I have a love and hate relationship, but even she was needed. That kind of little bitchiness, like that sassiness, that storyline that we had in the older days. So,
Yeah.
there was a few from the get. I thought to myself, like, wow, like there's a lot of what could potentially be good front runners and make it high. Like even out of those three, we still had people like Dawn. Dawn did pretty good and was liked a lot by the judges, especially RuPaul. I
Yeah.
thought Dawn was someone from early on that could have gone far as well. So, also annoying as hell, but that little Patty LuPone lover. What's
Uh,
the,
she's
the
so young and she looks so old.
another one with an old soul and knows his old things too, but you know who I'm talking about.
I yeah,
That one,
plasma, plasma.
Plasma, went home pretty early. That was surprising too when that happens.
Yeah, you know who went home early, and I was very upset by it because when they came back to like lip sync and all that,
Megami.
Magami, Magami actually like I think she's a force to be reckoned with, but like I think she got way too much in her head and she didn't perform as well as she should have. But like the same way Nymphia was always like, "You guys, I'm struggling, I'm struggling." I hate when
I
they
think
act like that.
I think they perfect. I think
And
that
it's
was more of an
so
act, though. I think that for Nymphia, it was more of an act when
I don't
they
like
had
that.
those episodes of thing. Megami, I don't know, maybe an All Stars 12. We could see what she has, but even
Not
so,
so
like
much.
I don't know. I feel like if she would have stayed longer, even with some of the look challenges, runway challenges, and stuff, I don't think she was from what she showed as elevated to show what was later
But
on.
I like when people are not elevated. It reminds me of like the Chichi Devanes, the Heidi in Closet, the ones that like are not elevated and then they come back and they're in like all stars and they got their shit together. Raja O'Hara was like that.
Hmm.
I
That's
don't
what I'm saying.
know.
I could see her. I could see her come back for the All Stars.
I have more respect for people that do that than people that come with all their looks but don't know how to sew, aren't funny.
Well, no, Nymphia, those
I
outfits for
know
Nymphia,
Nymphia
she
knows how to
created
sew.
all that.
Yeah, I know. She
Yeah,
went to school, I think, for fashion or something.
she created that.
Yeah. Well, congrats to her. I think that's
Congrats.
another thing. I think that they needed to give it to an Asian. It's about time.
Well, you know what? Funny you say that because someone or she said it herself in her speech, and then I went into a hole. Technically, they considered Raja Gemini, season three
Yeah.
winner, the first Asian. I'm sorry, but I'm a fan from day one. I watched, started from
Yeah.
day one. When Raja won, I never looked at it as, oh, okay, an Asian queen won. I'm sorry, maybe people would think I'm ignorant
Well,
and say that she's
no.
a form of
She's
Asian.
South
Like,
Asian. She's from Indonesia. So, yes, that is true. That's the problem. A lot of people that watch Drag Race now have not watched season 1, season 2, season 3. Barely I feel like now the youth of today have started watching after Aquarius season, which was what, 12, 13?
Aquaria was what, season nine?
No, she wasn't.
Oh, Aquaria won 10. Yeah, and it's the
10.
other one. Violet Chachki. I'm sorry. Violet Chachki and Aquaria kind of remind me the same. They were look queens, skinny bitches that fit into things. But
Yeah.
yeah, Violet Chachki was season 7. Aquaria was 10. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't think people reach like go back because I thought about that, and someone was like, "Well, what about Sasha Colby?" Sasha Colby is
No,
Pacific
season 9.
Islander.
No, no, she was season 15. Sorry. I
Yeah,
thought
but
you were
I
about
wouldn't
Sasha
consider
Salon.
her to be Asian. She is
Same
Pacific
thing.
Islander.
I thought the same thing. Pacific Islander. I wouldn't consider Sasha either. But to me, like, I thought, and even in this season, I'm like, wow, she will be the first Asian queen to win. But yeah, I
She's
guess
not.
technically is Raja Gemini.
Raja, I think, was born
Folks.
in I don't know. I don't want to say she was born in Indonesia, but she did live there when she was young. I'm looking it up
So yeah,
now.
there you go. There we got it. So technically, we've had Asian queens before. We've had black queens because people forget too. There was a point that white queens were winning, and people were like, "Oh, no black queen, no black queen." But let's be real: the first 2 seasons of Drag Race, the youth of today, it was black queens who won the first
Yep.
2 seasons of Drag Race. So, yeah. But what we're waiting for now
Wow.
is a Latina. What
Wasn't
we're
it
waiting for
BB Sahara
BB
Bonilla?
Sahara and then
Africa.
Tyra Sanchez. Black, African, black, black, black. Why I gotta be black? In the words of RuPaul. No, but yeah. So what we need now is a Latina winner, on a Latina winner, specifically Puerto Rico, since we be having so many queens. But
Yeah.
Puerto Rico, Puerto Rico, Puerto Rico will give a crown to a bitch. But I think honestly, no tea, no shade for my Puerto Rican queens. It will have to be, if they're coming from Puerto Rico, it will have to be a, I don't know how to say this because people may shit on me for this, but you have to be a high elevated queen. I think if it's someone straight from if it's a Puerto Rican from the States, I can see them winning. I just don't see a queen from actual Puerto Rico
Winning?
having the elevation that they expect now to win. Correct me if I'm wrong. What do you think? I could be wrong.
Well, I think we spoke about this last summer when we talked about going to Puerto Rico and seeing like
Yes,
the gay nightlife and the drag queen scene. I don't think that they have enough space for them to master their craft. So that's probably one of the reasons why, like when you have the Yara Sofias, the Jessica Wilde, the April Carriones, the all
that's
of
funny.
these.
I bumped into April Carrion at one of the clubs
Oh my
in Puerto
god!
Rico. I know it was last year when we went. You stood back.
Yeah,
You stood back. Yeah, it was when we went on that trip. Yeah.
I feel like there isn't enough like drag queens to have their space. So I mean, which one was the one that lives in? Most of them live in Florida. The one that lives in Orlando, Alexis Mateo.
Mateo. Hmm.
I felt like she was gonna be a winner at one point, but like
Yeah.
it didn't go. She didn't go as far as I thought she would. But I'm excited for
All Stars
All
9.
Stars.
One season ends and another begins. RuPaul just keeps spitting them out, spitting them out. Yes, All Stars 9 starts May 17th. Shout out to my mom's birthday that day on a
Oh,
Friday. Um,
yeah, I'm excited.
and speaking of music and, well, RuPaul, well, speaking of celebrating and dancing and music, and parents and family, I was thinking the other day because I was listening to music. I love
Hmm.
my YouTube at home, and old school music just started coming on. I hit one old school song, and then like I guess automatically a bunch of old school certain songs haven't even heard from in a while just started continue coming up, and just bringing up memories, like especially Puerto Rico with my mom and dad, and just really in my feels, making me feel like good feels and even like a little sad,
Oh,
memory thinking feels. But all in all, a happy feel of what music does to you, of where music takes you. And it just made me think like where we all get our musical taste and love and our certain like for certain music from someone. Obviously, growing up, we start hearing music. For you, who do you think it was that you got your musical taste? Maybe some of it, maybe it was all of it or partially, but where would you say some of your musical taste came from?
I definitely want to. I know my brother's probably going to be watching. My brother is one person who has influenced me, which is crazy because in my later years, he's influenced me. My younger years, I think being surrounded by my like parents and especially like my mom, she will always play music, especially like cleaning around the house. My older sister, I think, put me on to like a lot of pop music, and that's where my love for Britney, the Spice Girls, all came about. But as far as like, it all depends on the genre. Hip hop, that was my brother. Spanish music and like Latin music and jazz was my mom because I remember my mom could not like she was always like driving us to school and like listening to jazz music,
Mm,
and that was her thing. But I had teachers, I remember in middle school, that when we would do our startup, which was like I guess in creative writing class, they will ask you to write about something, write about your weekend and write about whatever subject. My teachers would play music in the background. I had a teacher who like would play R&B, and then I also had teachers that would play like different genres, whether it was like bossa nova from Brazil or even like rock, like alternative rock and stuff. So I don't know. It was always an eclectic. I've always been obsessed with music, so I always gravitate towards music anywhere, and that's something that I do like feel that I can meet someone or get close to someone based on music taste.
Mm, mm.
What about you?
With me, I think from early on that I could remember like really soaking music and stuff was in Puerto Rico where I started grasping those memories and the influences. And again, I would say both my mom and dad, the Mariah Careys, the Boys to Men, um,
Yeah.
that R&B, but also the old school music. The John B's, so many singers that I don't
Oh
know their
God,
names,
Courtney
but
Love.
if you play their songs and stuff. There was another one that popped up the other day that made me think of this topic, and I'm like, I've heard this song, but her name doesn't even sound familiar. I should have written it down, but like I would say old school house music that even now it comes on and it just makes me feel good and it takes me back to the 90s and it makes me think of my parents and their time
Are
and
you talking about
what they
Crystal
look like.
Waters?
No, someone else, but there's just so many house people period, but I don't know all their names, but like
Yeah.
but
Oh,
no, not
Amber.
Crystal Waters.
I
um
love 90s house music. It reminds me of like l- when we were younger and we didn't live in New York, I think for
mm,
me, I would listen to these songs back in the
that part
day,
too.
and it made me be like, oh, I can't wait to live in New York. This is gonna be the soundtrack to the city vibes. Also, I think when I moved here, it was just going to certain places, you hear music. Like even working in Forever 21, where we both worked at, the
Hmm.
playlist, and say what you will about Forever 21, but the playlist of Forever 21 was kind of immaculate.
Yeah. Yeah, Forever 21 did have some good bops. But yeah, and then like as far I think then came a point where and then Spanish music, living in Puerto Rico, obviously one of my first people that I remember buying a cassette in Puerto Rico. Technically, I guess the first cassette I owned, I didn't buy it. I don't remember how I got it, but it was Olga Tañón.
I
Um,
love her.
yeah, so for those people who don't know who she is, she's a very popular merengue, salsa merengue, Puerto Rican singer, with some great bops. Que mentiroso ese hombre, que se vaya, que se vaya
Mm.
de mi vida. Like so many good bops. And I remember her, but then once we moved to the States, that's when I think I started at like 10, 11, forming my own like musical taste. And that's when I came into pop. And even now to this day, I would say pop music, but pop has evolved so much, but pop music is my favorite.
Yeah.
Many exes and even current boyfriend will say like, you love your dance music, you love your upbeat songs or white girl songs, but
You
I
like
do
more
love
yeah, you like
I
more
like up
upbeat.
tempo, upbeat songs, but don't get me wrong, I love all type of music. But my favorite genre is pop, and that I cultivated within myself, I guess, coming into my own 10, 11, Spice Girls, and all those. I think the pop. The 90s pop rush that we had too didn't help. Like the N6, the Christinas, the Britney Spears, all those little the Mandy Moores, just all those people Five, Bewitch, all those people from back in the day. So I'm a pop guy. I'm a pop girl. But in general, what I love about time too is that my music taste has evolved and I've gotten curious too. Like, with older songs and older R&B cuts or just older music and um even sometimes even a little bit of jazz. Like sometimes I like a lot of upbeat, but there's times I catch myself like I want calm
Yeah.
and I put like the jazz thing in the background on YouTube with the fire crinkling and stuff.
I do that shit all the
Yeah,
time.
so it's like it's I think musical taste it's always is kind of an evolution, because
Yeah.
with time you learn new things and you dig new people and you learn of new artists,
Hmm.
um, but
It's
it's
funny.
also yeah, but it's also great to like really think about where you get your musical inspiration from. And I even know for myself, for
Yeah.
my brothers who like be blasting and sending me videos of when Britney Spears is playing, like I know for them, whenever they're with someone, they're gonna be like, yeah, my brother, because of my brother, I
Yeah,
rock to Britney Spears. You know what I'm saying? Like the
yeah,
way with you and your brother. So it's
yeah.
interesting to think about.
Yeah, it's funny because it's mariachi week according to Spotify, and I remember when I was younger, being Latin and being Hispanic, you are gonna listen to music from different countries. You could be Dominican, but Dominicans will always love and praise Luis Miguel, who's Puerto Rican of like who's Mexican but like Spanish and born in Puerto Rico or whatever. But his his music is basically like he had I remember he had like two albums that was full blown mariachi ranchero music, and I download them and I like to listen to them when I'm cooking or when I'm cleaning and stuff. But it's crazy how time flies, and like as you get older your music genre or palette expands, because I remember when my mom would blast that shit on a Saturday morning and I would be like, ugh, we're listening
Hmm.
to this shit. I don't want to hear this. Why
Yep.
can't she listen to the Spice Girls? Why can't she listen to TLC? And then she would play that. But now I find myself in this like age and time listening to what my mom used to listen to back in the day. But don't get
Hmm.
it twisted. My mom used to love blasting Mary J. Blige.
Oh yeah, my mom too. Oh, my mom too. In the '90s, I remember that certain chapter. Trucy played Mary J. Blige a lot. I could tell that story, but that's not my story time. But yeah, and for my dad, real quick too, and I've said this on the show too. He put me on to Sade. My dad put me on to
I
Sade.
love Sade.
My
Yeah.
dad also. I don't want to say he put me on to Shakira, but I think his like for Shakira, whether her music or Shakira herself, kind of introduced me to Shakira in a sense. So he kind of put me on. I haven't said that before, but if I'm not correct, he kind of put me on to Shakira. But he definitely, because he played her music, like he would play her
Mhm.
music and stuff. Like he definitely, I'm assuming he's still into her. He definitely put me on to Sade. He definitely put me onto her. So for
Yeah.
him, like, and I love Sade now, and
I love
Sade.
Sade too. And I'm sad she was nominated to be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, but she's not gonna get inducted this year.
Why she didn't?
Because you gotta choose from the nominees, and there were so many, including Lenny Kravitz, and they didn't
Mary
choose
J.
her.
Blige was just inducted this year.
She's going to be. They haven't done it yet.
Oh, okay, yeah, yeah. But she's going to be inducted this
Yeah,
year.
so like you can be nominated as many times as possible, but at the end when they choose they induct, it might not be the
Oh,
person, but
gotcha.
it's fine. I love her, and if she goes in concert because she's like 60 something,
Hmm.
the day she does a concert and it's here in America, bitch, I'm going.
No, well, I'm there too. I
We're
definitely have to see. I
going.
definitely have to see.
Oh,
Sade.
speaking of British singers, I was gonna ask you this offline, but might as well just piggyback. May 10th, Friday, May 10th, Craig David is coming to New York to perform. He's in concert. Do you like Craig David? Because I used to
I,
love. I had all his
one or two
albums.
songs from him that I like. I think he's a Taurus.
Yes, his
I
record
think he's a.
name.
I think it's coming up. I think it's next week. I think it's the same as. I'm not sure. I think it's this coming week. I think it's the same day as. I'm not sure. I gotta look that up. But I like Craig David, but not like that. And I think I seen it, and I have a work event that day.
May 5th. It's his
Yeah,
birthday.
I knew it was close. Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of want to go. The tickets are cheap. I think I'm gonna go with my brother because Lucy, my sister, loves Craig David, but I think she has to work. But my brother, he's always liked him too. I remember he would sing his songs in the shower. Um,
Nah, Craig
but
David's cool. I like Craig David.
yeah,
Well, hopefully you get to go and tell me all about it. But speaking of music, to round this off and circle it out, Bad Bunny just dropped a new song called
mhm.
Adivino with Mikey Mike Towers, who I've liked some of his other stuff he just released recently with Obi on the drums. Um, but yes, this is a duet between Mike Towers and Bad Bunny called Adivino. Bad Bunny just dropped his song, and I mean, his new album last October, November. I'm still waiting for certain singles from his latest album, but here he is releasing newer music. I
Mhm.
liked it off the bat. I from first listen, I liked it. You listen to it and you have your theories, which I didn't at first. Well, I've listened to it a few times. I didn't get that from it, but now you're kind of tainting it for me. But give me your theories on the new Bad Bunny song. And by the way, real quick, I'm drinking water, y'all. This is not liquor. I need to save my liver for my trip. I'm drinking water. I'm just down in it. I don't want people to think I'm drinking liquor.
First of all, it's not a new Bad Bunny song. It's
Mike
it's Mike
Towers.
Towers' song featuring Bad Bunny.
Well,
Let's give credit where credit is due.
everywhere I see it says "and Mike
It says
Towers
Mike
and
Towers
Bad
and
Bunny."
Bad Bunny. Exactly. It is Mike Towers' song. So my thing with Adivino is that obviously Bad Bunny is like letting us know a tidbit or two of like how him and Kendall Jenner are no longer together and like something went down. And it seems to me, I got the ick because I just feel like, wow, you were so against these bitches and all these people that want to be Latino and stuff. But then you get with Kendall Jenner and then you change your whole vibe. And now you're talking about how she did you dirty. Like, that sucks, and I hope that he reverts back to his badass conejo malo self because now I don't know. But I translated it for the non-Spanish speakers, and his verse says, "Our love story was beautiful and strange." And it's true. You are a goddess, and I will not find another like you. You won't either. In your life, I was the most real. I was the realest. I was faithful to your eyes and loyal to your lips. But no, we are not the same. You were one of my loves. I was just another ex. Sometimes I laugh reading our texts. Sometimes I laugh, but it's just from stress. I don't know when the interest died. I don't know if I love you is worth the same when it's said in English. Obviously, Kendall doesn't speak Spanish. Obviously, they had to
Mm.
speak English. And then he says, I don't know if it's a good idea for you and me to fuck again, for you to look at me again, that we lie to each other again, that we make the same mistake again. I don't know.
All
Because
in one year, all this? Sheesh.
yeah.
Well,
So,
that could happen a year with a Pisces. I know that. Mm-mm-mm. A year
well,
could feel like a hell of an eternity.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
For a celebrity couple to be together for a year, that's a long ass time. That's
In
not
dog
normal
years.
people human time. That's
It's
like
like it's
celebrity.
like gay men being together for it's like it's a victory. It's like a cross. It's like finishing a marathon that you would never think you finished when you're
So that's why I
together
think
that long.
obviously his verse was targeted to Kendall,
Yeah,
and
now it makes
it
when you
makes
broke
sense
it
that
down. Yeah,
I personally feel she was a rebound to Homeboy. You know
they
what I
were
feel
rebounds to
happened?
each other.
They were rebounds to each other, but I think he caught feelings in true Pisces fashion because y'all niggas be feeling, y'all be catching feelings. But here's what I think happened. I bet you Kendall Jenner like saw how famous he got and how much he looked like her ex Devin Booker.
They
And I
look
wouldn't be
like
surprised. I don't know what Devin Booker is. I don't know if he's biracial, like half black, half white, or if he's mixed with Latin or what. But I wouldn't be surprised if he was blasting Bad Bunny one time, listening to him, and Kendall was like, let me hit him where it hurts. Let me get with Bad Bunny, his idol or his favorite musician. And that's what
mm.
happened. That's just me saying allegedly. Don't come for me.
Allegedly, yeah, allegedly. I
Allegedly,
mean, she is a Scorpio, and Scorpios
they
they
retaliate.
yeah
They retaliate.
yeah. Ooh, child. Well, what a way to end it off and spice it up. Listen, it was so cool bringing y'all this bonus episode. This coming week, um, we have another episode this week for you guys. I have a little special episode, a travel episode. So tune in, same place, same time. But we are back together in 2 weeks with so much more to talk about. Um,
I'll
So
be
much more
here.
to talk about. So much
Okay.
more to talk about. Some interesting, good things. We really gonna get open and honest with you guys, especially me. But you gotta stay tuned for that episode. But thank you guys so much for tuning in. This bonus pod, we're giving you something extra. We didn't want to be without each other too long, so we had to come together, Frick and Frack, and give you guys some love, some of us. So hopefully you guys enjoy this bonus episode. Make sure to like, share it, subscribe, like it, especially, and share it. And follow us everything the inner circle, especially on our Instagram. Thank you guys so much. Adios.
Thank you for watching. Make sure to follow, like, share, subscribe, everything the Inner Circle podcast, and catch us every Wednesday live at 8 p.m. on YouTube and Facebook.